I'm pretty excited to be up here. We haven't had one of these in the township for a few years. I think it's important to our businesses and our community and our residents to have this, to let people know to the best of our ability what's going on in the township. So I'd like to thank everybody for being here. A lot of faces I haven't seen for a long time and a lot of new faces, and I welcome you. I'd like to thank Stefan's for a wonderful lunch. It was great, wasn't it? Brian Golden over here is got his headphones on, but he put together this video, and I was told it's a montage, not a collage. So the montage was wonderful, and I felt it was really important that we recognize all of our employees in the township and our volunteers that do things in our community, because that's what it's all about. So at the end of this, if you haven't noticed, there's a whole list of people. And we try to do this kind of like the Star Wars thing. That's what my thought was. But we did this, and everybody's name is on there without title. It's alphabetical because I feel that everybody that works here, and we have the boards and commissions listed separately, is important to our community to make it work. So if you haven't seen it, please take a moment and look at it. You did a great job, so thank you, Brian. And, you know, we have a few more thank yous, and part of it's for the Redford Chamber of Commerce for hosting this event. This was put together. Brian in the back worked real hard on it to make sure you guys were all here. My confidential assistant, Dawn, she put in a lot of hours. We even had a computer breakdown for a while, but we worked through it, so that was great. So Dawn, I don't know where you're at right now. There she is, okay. And again, thanks to the police color guard, our Eagle Scout, Scott Mitchell Taylor for being here. Scout Mitchell Taylor for being here. He's sitting over there. Stand up and wave. So I know people heard you, but I want them to see you. Pastor Gore for our pledge, for our prayer. Anna Bonarak for singing the national anthem. And I must also acknowledge the First Lady of Redford, my wife, Betsy McCrae. So during my 12 years as a Redford Township trustee, we spent each year with less money in the budget than the year before. Making cuts and trying to maintain services, it was challenging. As a supervisor, I came into office at the end of the pandemic. I'm happy to have a budget in the black and a board that works together to get things done. Former Negro League baseball pitcher and Hall of Famer Satchel Paige always said, if it ain't moving forward, it's moving back. This township board is working hard every day for every resident in Redford Township to help keep it moving forward. At this time, I'd like to recognize our board members, and if they would stand. Some of them are here and some of them are unable to be here. So please stand. Our township board, Clerk Garth Christie, Treasurer Lily Kavanaugh, Trustee Ed King, Trustee Kim Taylor, Trustee Linda Jackson, and Trustee Patricia Kennedy. These are the people that you elected for this office to do the township good, and they are doing so. So I'm very proud of each and every one. So for the next few minutes, I'm going to tell you about our town, Redford Township. We're 11.2 square miles. Our population is 49,000. We have 12 parks and 2 Wayne County parks. Our property values in 2022, residential went up 6.75%, commercial was up 4.8%, industrial was up 4.62%. Our census numbers in April of 2010 were 48,362, and April 1st, 2020, we're at 49,504, an increase of 1,142 people, which is approximately a 2.36% increase. So we've stabilized out and we're growing. Excuse me. The assessing department was awarded a certificate from the State Tax Commission recognized a perfect score for the 2021 Adult Audit of Minimum Assessing Requirements, AMRA review. So we have an assessing department. They're doing a great job, and they got their award, so I'm very proud of them. Veterans are real important in our community, in every community. Can we have anybody that's a veteran please stand? Okay. Well, our veterans are very important. Oh, here we go. There we go. Thank you. Thank you. And I will say our veterans are not just veterans, they're also humble. They, everywhere they go, they want to know where's a veteran, and I think it's important they stand every single time. In our Veterans Park, which is right next to Town Hall, we installed new lighting prior to the Veterans Day celebration, and I will tell you that our veterans were really happy. They were able to go out there and do the ceremony outside, and they didn't have to use a flashlight. So not only does it look good, it works for them as well. VFW Post 345 moved from the Schoolcraft location to 5 Mile. We had some monuments that were there that needed to be moved, and at this time I'd like to thank Redford Cement and Mike Mancini for moving those to Veterans Park. They look beautiful. If you haven't had a chance to see them, get over there and see them. Thank you, Mike. In Town Hall, we have an honor roll, and that's in the main hall when you come in. And my assistant, Dawn, went through and cataloged everybody that's on the boards on the wall. And down there on the website, you can go there and see if your relative or a friend who is a veteran is on the wall, and you'll be able to know what board to look for, so you can be able to find it. And we will continue to keep adding names to the wall as we get them. The veterans page on the website was updated, and thanks to Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib and her office, because they provided information as we updated that site. Public safety is important in every community. We have what I believe to be the very best fire and police department in the tri-state area. So just a few updates. Our South End Fire Station, which was built in 1999, was in need of some updates, and we're currently going out for bids to remodel it at this time. The fire department will be receiving a rescue that's supposed to arrive in April 2023, and a new engine in 24-25 budget year. Total call, I don't always keep going out there. Total calls for the fire department were 7,275 runs in 2022. That's about 200 more runs than in 2021. We were able to hire 1 new firefighter during 2022. Also, the response time for our fire department is 4 minutes and 8 seconds per run in 2022, which is outstanding. So our fire department also has an outreach that they do in our community. They have an open house at one of the fire stations. They raise money for MDA. They even built a fire engine bookshelf for our library. And in worst of times during COVID, they were instrumental in making sure we have our shots during the COVID, so thank you. The Township website has been updated, and we've just hired a new communication specialist, and that's Miss Jordan. So that we will be able to improve and continue moving on, making sure everybody has the information they need. At this time, I'd like to introduce our department heads and our superintendent. Each department is essential, and I will be speaking them in no particular order. So if you would, as I announce your name, please stand. Mike Dennis, Director of DPS. Thank you, Mike. Adam Bonarak, Director of Finance. Teresa Stokes, Director of Leisure Services. Director Derek Washington, Director of Human Resources. Anthony Jablonski, Director of Economic Development. Chief Scott Demoff, Fire Department. Chief Kevin Jezerowski, Police Chief. He's not here, but we have a representative somewhere from the Police Department. There we are. Okay. Michelle Mancini, Director of Community Development. And our Superintendent, Diane Webb, who leads the day-to-day operations and who oversees all these departments in the township. Please stand, Diane. I'm also very happy to say that all our union contracts are settled, and thanks to the union negotiating team and the township team to get this done, so thank you everybody involved in that as well. So we're going to talk about the balance, the general fund, and what we've done here is on the 14th, we passed the balanced general fund budget of $39.5 million for 2023 and 2024. We passed it on the 14th, like I said, in compliance with the Uniform Budget Act. So I'm really pleased to tell you that we're in good shape financially, and that has to do with Adam Bonarak and Diane and the team for getting that done. There has also been no tax rate increase and none for the past 3 years while continuing providing services in the township. The township passed both the audit 2022 financial statements and the single audit of federal grants and awards. This audit was done by Plant Moran and was successful and on time. And most importantly, we retained A+ bond rating. So congratulations. We continue to reduce projected long-term debt over time in a variety of ways. The township received almost 22 million ARPA dollars funds. The money was used for capital improvements, public safety, staffing, hazard pay, administrative overhead, and more capital improvements pending board approval. So the police department came in with a new program, the cadet program, and that started in February of 2023. The police department is extremely excited to start the program. The cadet program will become a farm system allowing Redford Police to develop the future officers and dispatchers of this department by coaching and mentoring our young men and women who show any interest in law enforcement. As far as the statistics, we have seen an increase of 3% in our crime rates. The calls to the Redford Police Department that physically responded to were 25,960 for 2022, up 1.03% from 21. 911 calls for 2022, the police department took in 30,307 911 calls in 2022. This was up from 27,000 in 2021. Number of new hires, we hired 6 police officers and 4 dispatchers. And our police station is tired as well. It was built back in 1992. The renovation for this building will be about $309,000. And of that, $297,000 will come from ARPA funds. The police department also has an outreach. They do Coffee with a Cop, Neighborhood Watch, Citizen Police Program, and Goodfellows. And speaking of Goodfellows, Chief Jezerowski could not be here today, but he wanted to make sure that I let all of you know that during the Goodfellow newspaper sales, that he wanted it known by everyone that he outsold former Chief Lentine in the Goodfellows newspaper drive by a lot. In the DPS community development area, we have about 190 miles of secondary roads that when we get 5 or more inches, that our guys go out and they plow those streets. The last time they did that was on January 26th of 2023. They do it timely and make sure that our residents can get out of the neighborhoods to get to the main streets. So I want to thank them for that work that they do and continue to do, and hopefully don't have to do it no more until next year. The water department has had approximately 12 water main breaks this season, and hopefully the season is winding down. The crews did a great job, so congratulations as well. When we have what I call a cooperative coordination program with the county, Wayne County DPS Forestry has removed over 200 dead trees from the right-of-way areas only on the easements, and we'll continue to work on that through 2023 because that's been a problem, and thank you, County, for taking care of that. Also, we have other county projects. We have 6-mile repaving between Beach and Inkster, repaving of 5 and Beach intersection, bridge replacement on 6 Mile west of Delaware, and at the board meeting, Superintendent Webb let us know that they're going to start resuming to do that on April the 15th, and they're supposed to be done by June of 2023, but we anticipate it'll be done much sooner. Yeah. In 2023, we have some projects. They'll be doing the repaving of Inkster Road between 5 and Schoolcraft. They'll be doing a traffic signal upgrade at Beach and 5 Mile, traffic signal upgrade at Beach and West Chicago, and repaving by MDOT of Grand River from 5 Points to Inkster. We'll talk about housing rehabilitation program current numbers. Assisting 10 households with loans, grants via housing rehab program for 2022-23. The stabilization, the Stabilizing Neighborhood Action Plan, SNAP. Their current numbers have sold 2 rehabilitated houses via SNAP program, completed 2 homes recently and awaiting sale of an eligible new homeowner, acquired 5 blighted vacant homes that await rehabilitation by the township. Also demolished 2 vacant blighted residential structures and are preparing a project of specs to demolish 2 additional structures this fiscal year. And that's a great program because it keeps our neighborhoods clean, safe, and gets rid of blight. The site committee also has submittals of 2022. We had 90 retail submittals, 83 were approved. We had 21 industrial, 16 were approved, all approved subject to final inspection and the issuance of a C of O. Then we have our Minnock Meadows is our senior housing. Currently it's about 80% full. They have, in 2022-23, they replaced 92 door wall units throughout the facility. In the year prior, they had replaced 92 furnaces and AC units in all apartments. The new upgrades are planned for 2023-24, and I'd like to say a great job for Rob Roach and Rick Ritz. So, our downtown development area, otherwise known as DDA, for those that may not know, our western border is Kinloch, our eastern border is on Telegraph, northern border is Midland, and the southern border is Elba. Beach Lane property has been approved by the site committee for a Dollar General combo grocery retail outlet. Work is proceeding with a projected completion date of April of 2023. Grand opening has not been announced yet, but this is the first big build in a while in the downtown area, so they're watching and making sure this is done right for us. So thank you to them. At this time, I would like to introduce our parks commissioners. I don't know how many have shown, but you should at least know their names. Adrian Herburst, Bill McSween, Deborah Lightleitner, Stephen Garrick, Jeff Kangas, Sheila Newton, Kip Smith. In leisure services, we have 12 parks, a splash pad at Handy Park. They participated in the DIA Inside Out, car show, concerts at the Marquee, and MLK breakfast. At our community center, we offer classes of all ages, and we have a parks maintenance department to take care of our parks as well. For our seniors, there are classes. We offer tax assistance, activities, and services. Meals on Wheels, Wayne County, at this time, they give out and deliver 121 senior facilities and homebound meals a day, serving 3 days a week. This would be over 17,400 meals a year. We provide a great service in our township of Dial-A-Ride. In this fiscal year of 2022-23, they have provided 4,984 rides through the end of February. In 2021-22, they provided 4,379 rides, so we are continuing to increase with the needs of our residents. Wayne County has 2 parks in Bell Creek, and we get calls about Bell Creek all the time about what are they doing. Well, Bell Creek is finishing up a tree removal path project due to invasive species, and they should finish that up this year. They're also planning on installing a new picnic shelter area along Inkster Road. So now let's talk about the court. First off, I want to say that both of our judges are here, the Honorable Karen Cahill and the Honorable Christina Hartunian. So we have a veterans court, which Judge Karen Cahill, after all these years, you think I get it right. Yeah, it's only 31. Yes. Judge Karen Cahill presides and has been since November of 2011. Veterans Court, it empowers veterans to permanently emerge from a criminal justice system. The program provides specialized support and services. So let's have a hand for our Veterans Court. Recently, we just started, or I should say, the court has just started. That's the royal we, as my wife says. Okay. In the 17th District Hybrid Treatment Court, held its first session on February 21st, 2023. Judge Christina Hartunian presiding. The treatment court team comprised of Program Director Janet Lynch, Probation Department, Treatment Provider, Prosecution Defense Counsel, along with the Redford Township Police Department. The goal of the treatment court is to help individuals dealing with substance abuse issues find the root cause of their problem by guiding each participant to sobriety through treatment services and regular drug and alcohol screening. Through the treatment team, participants are given resources that assist with housing, employment, and re-engaging positively with their families and community. This evidence-based approach to recovery has been shown to help reduce relapse rates in communities and improve the lives of those who participate. So let's have a hand for that. So we talked about a lot of things here so far today, and I'm trying to get this done as quickly as possible because I know you all have places to be. So I want to talk a minute about groups that operate within the township that are investing in the community. First, I want to talk about the Redford Township Library, and I think Garrett Hungerford is here. Garrett, where you at? Okay. They did renovation investment. Projects were completed using the library fund balance and not new tax dollars. $900,000 in 2021. The The library added a drive-through, a new patio area. The drive-through allows convenient access to patrons to pick up and drop off library books. The patio area provides outdoor seating and space for programming opportunities and events. On $190,000 in 2022, the library replaced an aging roof after years of maintenance and repairs. So thank you. Redford Union Schools. They're investing $59,200,000 in renovation investment from a 2021 capital bond project with ongoing renovations. And these renovations are meant to enhance the learning environment for their students. So thank you, Redford Union. The South Redford School District also is investing $79,905,000 in renovation investment for 2021 bond. The program addresses and prioritizes infrastructure upgrades and security enhancements at all buildings and sites, creating future-ready learning environments, including new and improved technology, and remodeling Shear Center into an innovation center, all to increase student achievement and foster a culture of college and workforce preparedness. Clarenceville Schools, if those that you don't know, we have a third school district. It's in the Township. In Clarenceville School District, we have 466 students that are enrolled there. And in 2022, they invested money in their classroom remodel and put up an auditorium sign in their high schools. So those are some people that are investing beyond what we do here at the Township. There are also groups that give back. Redford Interfaith Relief is celebrating 25 years of doing work here in the Township. And back in the back there, Angela Wolf is their executive director, and please stand. We also have another program that operates out of the Thurston High School area, and that's called Eagles Helping Hands. And if you haven't experienced it, you need to. Eagles Helping Hands is a food rescue, recovery, and salvage of food. They have an all-volunteer crew. Nobody gets paid. They raise money wherever they can. They put in tireless hours, and they're out gathering food during the middle of the night, so the next day they can go and have it ready for people that need it. The amazing thing about this program is that you don't have to prove where you live, how much money you make, or you just have to show up and they feed you. Now, food doesn't last for 100 years. It's meant to eat now, and a lot of people need to eat now. So I know April is here. Please, April, will you stand? She's the one that leads the group. So if you have some time, you can always use volunteers because she adds all the time, and she's a worker herself. We also have the Good Fellows, who always say that no child without a Christmas. I think John Buck is sitting over there. John, will you stand up? John is a former police chief here in the Township, and he's been spearheading that group for decades now. You're getting old, John, but that's okay. Then we have the Redford JCs, and they do a variety of events in the Township to help in a lot of different ways. And I would say that there's probably at least a third of you that are a JC or have been a JC. So I just want to say thank you to that group as well. And we have another group called One Redford. And One Redford is a very special group. It's a proactive group. It's an outreach group that looks to have community, to educate the community about positive ways to deal with problems before they happen, and to be there if something does happen. And I know Reverend Glass is here somewhere. There he is, Reverend Glass. This is a great group. There was just a meeting the other day, and you're going to hear and see a lot more of them. and they do great work here in the township. We have also local businesses. Murphy's Restaurant does a fundraiser every year for Redford Interfaith Relief, for Redford Junior Band Boosters, and by the way, the owner, Mr. Murphy, just happens to be the Grand Marshal of the St. Patrick's Day Parade this year, so we're pretty pleased about that as well. Michino's Restaurant or Cafe has started hosting a major event once a year for the Goodfellows to raise money. Sandy's by the Beach also supports Goodfellows, and Friends of Beach Elementary raise money and funds to buy books so kids can learn how to read and have something at home to take home so they can read. Vicky's Ice Cream does fundraising and supporting of veterans in schools. The Redford Chamber has a scholarship fund to help those that need to go to college, give them a little boost. The Ancient Owner of Hibernians does charity fundraising, and the hall is used to house some of our township meetings. That's just to name a few, and I'm sure if you've been around the township long enough, you'll be able to say, I got 25 more to tell you about, and I'm more than glad to hear about them. We also like to have some fun in the township. Having fun in our town, we have a marquee. We have a farmer's market on Sundays in June through October. We have the old-fashioned holidays in December. We have the Oktoberfest. We have perennial exchange in the spring and the fall. We give out Best Yards Awards to our residents. We have the Township Festival in June with fireworks. We have a historical museum. And we have an active senior club. And with that at my table here is Augie and Lois, the president and vice president of our senior club. So please. So now, are we ready there? Yep. So now we're going to talk about new and upcoming things. You know, we at Claude Allison, there was a project that went on, and it was the outdoor fitness court, and that was put in 2021. Director Stokes was instrumental in making that all happen, and we really think that it dresses up the park, and hopefully people will be using it once the snow is gone, but it's a great addition to the township, so you should go by and see that. Next, we have the new North End Fire Station. Yes. And it's currently within the budget with the total cost of $6 million. The old station, for those that have been asking, right now is being considered to be used for storage, maintenance, and some leisure service activities. So, Chief Demoff, please stand up. Chief Demoff has been working on this from the beginning. So now I'm just, I'm going to give you a sneak peek, so is what I call it. At Glenhorf Golf Course, the clubhouse was put up in 1932. So it's been serving as the clubhouse since then. And I'm very happy to say that we are now looking at a feasibility study with Wade Trim and SIDOC Group to see if the possibility of renovation or new construction. So stay tuned. We'll have more for you on that, but we're looking forward again. So the thing that everybody wants to talk about, and we want to talk about, and put smiles on most people's face, especially board members and department heads, is a Redford Recreation Center, Recreation Wellness Center. So people want to know, where did the money come from? Back in 2004, the board talked about we need to do more stuff for recreation, and that was during the recession, and so that couldn't be done. The funds weren't available. We also kept working to make sure everything run in the township. In 2020, COVID was around, and we worked very hard, everybody did, during very difficult times to make sure services were maintained for our residents and that they got shots and the availability to be taken care of the best we could while we were going through that. Then in the summer of 2021, some federal relief arrived. The American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA, we received about $22 million. So let's talk about this. The Recreation and Wellness Center facility is an historic opportunity the historic opportunity it presents. This facility will be the first recreational building built since the Redford Ice Arena, which was built in 1972 at a cost of $675,000 and paid for using revenue bonds. So this is 51 years, half a century since we've been able to do something like this. First, I'd like to say that the current project would not have been possible without our partners. The facility will be built for $19.5 million with no tax rate increases or issuing of bonds. We partnered with Wayne County and were able to receive $6.5 million of their ARPA funds. At this time, I would like to thank County Executive Warren Evans, the County Commission, and the team at the county to help make this happen. So please, if you're at the county, you had anything to do with this, please stand up, because it's important for people to see you. Well, and our Congresswoman who had to leave a little early, but Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib was able to secure a $2 million federal grant. And I would ask her to stand, but she's not here. But if you have a chance to talk to her, she is an amazing Congresswoman. She represents our area well. The remaining $11 million will come from Township ARPA funds. I would like to thank the Redford team who have been working on this for about 2 years. To get us to this point, I want to include on the team all those who touched this project at any point in the process. I ask them to stand and be recognized. So how do we get here? Well, you know, it was a long journey, and I will give you what, as I recall it. So if I miss something, bear with me, but this is the general idea. In 2021, ARPA money became available, and there had to be a plan put together to see where we could spend the money. And then we had to put a list of possible projects the township might approve. And then we had to get some projects approved by the township. The boards decided to approve a feasibility study for the Rec and Wellness Center. The Redford team is put together. That would be our Superintendent Diane Webb, Director Stokes, Director Bonarack, and Director Dennis. Plant Moran Cressa is hired to do a feasibility study. They did demographic, market data, and public input was gathered. The Redford team went to work looking for additional funding, submitting applications to the county for funding and the federal funding. They reviewed site locations, project designs. They presented 6 project designs and some locations to the board. The board approved a design and a location site. And on March the 2nd of this year, the project ARPA funding was approved by Wayne County Commission, and the federal grant was secured. So good job to the teams. Finally, I want to thank my colleagues on the Board of Trustees for recognizing the needs of our residents and acting on those needs. What are we getting? We're getting a facility of about 30,000 square feet. It'll be located at Graham Field, next to St. Valentine's Church on Beach Daily. The plan calls for a recreational area, classrooms, therapeutic pool, workout facility, indoor walking track, basketball, and pickleball courts. The layout leaves us room to expand in the future. We are now entering the design phase and hope to break ground sometimes in 2024 and open in 2025. Yes, we will be using the community center for programs, because I know that question has come up, but we will. The Recreation and Wellness Center will give an opportunity to our residents to do things in their own community It also allows us to expand programming and can enhance the wellness for everyone in our community. Finally, our town, Redford Township, is more than just statistics, buildings. It's about our businesses, our employees, our elected officials, volunteers, and residents. It is and always shall be about the people. I am here to report that the state of the township is good. So from my family to yours, be safe, get engaged, and let's continue to build a better Redford. Thank you.